નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. Subject Science, Chapter 14, Natural Resources. Dear students, today we'll discuss mineral riches in the soil. Mineral, naturally occurring inorganic material. Inorganic materials like air, water, minerals, stones, or like this. Riches, RICHES, riches એટલે wealth or treasures, mineral riches in the soil. So you know that soil is an important resource. Soil is an important resource, means raw material that decides the diversity of the life in an area. So if the soils are good, then you will find different varieties of animals living in those areas. Correct or what? But what is the soil and how it is formed? So what is soil? Soil is a mixture of inorganic material and organic material that supports the life. Inorganic material like air, water, minerals, rocks, oxygen. So that is supporting the life. And organically, your microorganisms, the dead bodies, and these are all. So that is we are calling the mixture of the inorganic and organic, we are calling the soil. How it is formed? The outer here we will see how it is formed. The outermost layer of the earth is called the crust. What is crust? The outermost layer of the earth. And the minerals found in this layer supply a variety of nutrients to the life form. So what the layer of the earth containing the minerals that is supplying the nutrients to the life forms. You know that all the organisms need some minerals to build up their bodies. Okay. But these minerals will not be available to the organisms if the minerals are bound up in the huge rocks. You know that minerals are found in the huge rocks, but organisms can't take in the huge or big rocks types. So it should be broken down into smaller pieces and mixed with the microorganisms. Okay, then only the plant or animals you can use it. How long? See here, look here now. Over long periods of time, thousands and millions of years, the rocks at or near the surface of the earth are broken down by the various physical, chemical, and some biological processes. So, in this way, rocks are broken down by the physical process, by the chemical process, and by the biological process. Here, you will study one by one also. Okay, in this way, the soils are formed. The end product of this breaking down is the fine particles of the soil. So after the resulting of this soil, then you will get the fine particles of soil. But what are the factors process make the soil? So you will see what are the factors. See here, the sun, the water, and wind, and here is given living organisms. So these are the factors for making the soil formation. So these are physical factors also. Some are physical. See, sun. The sun is a physical factor. The sun heats up the rocks during the day so that they expand. So the rocks will be expand. Expand means increases their size. At night, these rocks cool down and contracting becomes small. Become small means a inner formation, little bit contracting. And since all the parts of the rocks do not expand and contact at the same rate or at the same rate or at the same time, so what will happen? This results in the formation of cracks. So ultimately cracks are producing in the rocks and ultimately huge rocks breaks into smaller pieces. So this is by the sun. Okay, this is the way soil formation is. These are the factors. And second one is water. Water helps in the formation of soil in the two ways. So first one is water could get into the cracks. First water goes into the cracks in the rocks formed due to the uneven heating by the solution. Okay, you know that the sun is also producing heat. If this water later freezes and expands, it should cause the cracks. So in this way, water is helping for the for the soil formation. The second aspect is flowing water wears away even hard rock over the long periods of time. Second one is, you know that the flow of water, the big and small particles of rock downstreams, flowing of carries big and small particles of the along with the downstreams moving in the direction where the in which the stream flows or water flows, resultant abrasion causes the rocks. Abrasion means the substances rubbed off due to the friction to wear into the down into the smaller particles. So in this way the water then takes place the particles along with it and deposits it further down its path. So in this way along with their moving direction where salt particles are gathered, soil is thus found in the places far away from its parent land. So in this way from the parent means from the mother, so along with the streams it will be collected in some other place. So that is why here it's telling soil is thus found in the places far away from its parent rocks. So in this way water is also helping for the soil formation. The third one is wind. How wind is in the process similar to the way in which water rubs against the rocks, wears them down. Strong winds are also eroding the rocks, breaking down the rocks. Okay, the wind also carries sand from one place to the other place. So soil particles, where the light particles are carrying from one place to another place, what the water is doing and gathering there. So in this way soils are formed or stored in the other places. Living organisms are also influencing the formation of the soil. See, living organisms like lichen. Lichen plant is a composite organisms that is emerges from the algae. This also. And these living organisms, lichens, that we read about the earlier. So now that grows on the surface of the rocks. While growing, they release certain substances they are releasing, and that causes the rock surface to the powder down and form a thin layer of soil. So in this way, see, the lichens are also helping the formation of the soil. So this is the biological activities we are saying. On the other hand, plants like moss. So this is also small land plants, non-vascular, you are saying spore-bearing land plants. This one also able to grow on this surface now, and they cause the rock to break up further. So these are the biological ways the soil is breaking down the rocks. They cause the rock to break further. The roots of the big trees, okay, this way they are helping. Then next one is the roots of the big trees also sometimes go into the cracks in the rocks, and as the roots grow bigger and bigger, the crack is forced in the bigger, and then the soil is forming. So okay, so as you have seen that now soil is a mixture. These are the ways soil formation takes place. Soil is a mixture. It's in certain small particles. It contains small particles of the rock of different sizes. Correct or what? It also contains bits of decayed living organisms, decayed bodies of living organisms, microorganisms, which is called as humus. So what is humus? Humus. Decayed bodies or dead bodies of plants and animals or organisms are called as humus. In addition, so in this way soil is formed. Soil also contains various forms of microscopic life also. Okay, microorganisms. The type of the soil is decided by the average size of the particles found in it. See, the type of the soil decided that average size of the particles. See, remember, average size of the particles found in this. The quality of the soil is decided by the amount of humus. The quality of the soil, amount of humus. The type of the soil is the average size of the particles, and quality of the soil is decided by the amount of humus, the microorganisms found in it. Okay, humus is a major factor in deciding the soil structure. See, humus is the main factor for deciding the soil structure because it causes the soil to become more porous and allows water and air to penetrate deep underground. So due to this humus, the soil becomes porous so that air circulation will be takes place and water also can enter and air is penetrating, like circulating deep parts of the underground. Okay, so in this way, that becomes a good soil. The mineral nutrients that are found in the particular areas soil depends on the rocks what it was formed from. So what the minerals nutrients are found in the particular soil depends upon the rocks what it was formed from. The nutrient content of the soil, the amount of the humus present in it, and the depth of the soil. See, try to understand here the nutrient content of the soil, the amount of the humus present in, and the depth of the soil are the sum of the factors that decide which plants will thrive on that soil. Thrive. Thrive means to increase the wealth, flourishing in that soil. Thus, the topmost layer of the soil. So, thus the topmost layer of the soil that contains humus. See, the topmost layer of the soil containing humus and living organisms in addition to the soil particles, that is called as a topsoil. So, what is topsoil? The topsoil, the layer of this soil contains humus and living organisms and also soil particles, that is called as a topsoil. The quality of the topsoil is an important factor that decides biodiversity in that area. Biodiversity means different variety of animals are living in those areas. Now, these are all the soil formation and helping the soil for the living organisms. Now, you know that soil pollution will be there, soil pollution. See, in addition to that, soil pollution will be there, so soil pollution. How it is? Modern farming practices involve use of large amounts of fertilizers and pesticides. Pesticide means spraying insect medicines to the plants. Fertilizers and use of these substances over a long periods of time can destroy the soil structure by killing the soil microorganisms. You know that many of the microorganisms are living soil, so they will be died, and that recycled nutrients in the soil will not be taken place. So it also kills the earthworms which are instrumental in the making the rich humus. You know that humus, which one? It also kills the earthworms. Earthworms are farmers' friend. You are saying soil formation. They will make the soil rich, fertile soil. So fertile soil can quickly turn barren. Quickly turned into barren means bare hands. How you are saying barren? Nothing was getting the microorganisms. So if sustainable practices are not followed, if sustainable, what the required microorganisms are not followed, then what will happen? This soil pollution will be taken place. So removed of useful components from the soil and addition of the other substances which adversely affect the fertility of the soils. See, removal of useful components from the soil and addition of other substances, this adversely, unfavorably, or that will adverse, this will adversely affecting the, what we are saying, the other substances which adversely affect the fertility of the soil. Okay, that will adversely, unfavorably affecting the fertility of the soil and kill the diversity of organisms, different variety of organisms that living in. So that is called as a soil pollution. What is soil pollution? So you can write removal of useful components from the soil and addition of other substances which affect the fertility of the soil, kill the diversity of the organisms. That is called as soil pollution. The soil that we see today are in one place has been created. See, the soil that what we are in the one place has been created over a long period of time. What we are leaving the soil. However, some of the factors that created in the soil in the first place and brought the soil so that the place may be responsible for the removal of soil too also. So what we are observing this soil also, that from the place to place the soil particles are moving and the soil will be forming. The fine particles of the soil may be carried away by the flowing water of the wind. You know that along with the water flows, some of the good soils are carrying. In this way soil formation takes place. Okay, if all the soil gets washed away and the rocks underneath are exposed, so we have lost valuable resources because of very little will grow on the rocks. So this formation takes longer times. Okay, we are losing the soils. And look here now these diagrams. So here is there. So this is the simply soil, and this one is the plants are grown. And here in this erosion takes. Erosion means the loss of topsoil by the wind, flowing water. And here plants will be there, they are holding the soils together. So that is why here given the roots of the plants have an important role in preventing the soil erosion, the loss of the soil. Soil erosion means the loss of the soil by carrying the winds and other things or water. So that is called as a soil erosion. The large scale deforestation also, cutting of trees happening all over the world, not only destroy the biodiversity which variety of animals will be lose their lives. So that's why not to cut the trees, we are saying. It also leads to the soil erosion. Topsoil that is bare of the vegetation is likely to be removed very quickly. See, topsoil that is bare of vegetation. If the vegetation means plants are not growing, so if it is removed very quickly, so you will be at the dry lands. You will see the dry lands. And this is an accelerated in the hilly and mountainous regions. So this is accelerated, the soil erosion will take place in the hilly and areas more. Okay, so these regions are accelerated to move faster from the down earth, and this is accelerated in the hilly and mountain. Accelerated means move faster in the hilly earth. So this process of soil erosion is very difficult to reverse, and this will not be reverse it back also. So that vegetative covers on the ground has a role to play in the percolation of the water into the deeper layer. So due to the plants and trees will be there, water goes in the deeper parts and collected there. The soil, it makes the soil fertile and good. Okay, so dear students, what you learned today? Mineral resources. Okay, what you learned? Mineral resources or mineral riches in the soil. Okay, go through this. Okay, till that, goodbye. Thank you for joining us.